Well, I'm going to tell you a little Thanksgiving story that my dad told me when he was young. He growed up in the Depression, and times were hard, and I try to honor him by just sharing some of the stories he had with me. But he always told me if he didn't have no bad luck, he'd have no bad luck at all. Now, he growed up here in Cumberland Gap, looking from the Pinnacle down towards Tipper, a little community off from Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, where 3 states come together. It's hard to find on the map. He growed up in Tipple here. You can look, this little old picture back in the saddle of the Cumberland Gap here, where so much history had passed in time. But that's time on before that. He growed up in a little old house here. Had 3 brothers, 3 younger sisters, and they had a hard time during the Depression. His dad lived in the log woods. He stayed all the time in there working, trying to bring home what he could. And him and his brothers, they worked awful hard trying to bring home a few cents here and there to help the family. Worked in the gardens, around the farms, around the community. Well, anyway, this story is based. He used to go to the store a lot here and there. What he could find, a pop bottle or trade or get something for his mom here and there. But he got to listen to these old men talk. And they talked about seeing turkeys out in the edge of the woods here in a certain place between these mountains. And he thought, well, I've never seen a turkey. He's heard about them, seen pictures of them. He thought that was awful great. And his family and all these people in these Appalachians, they pride themselves on hunting. That's their way of life. They hunted all the time. And they didn't waste no shells either. Shells were money, and that was expensive. Well, he got with his old dog, Joe, his old trusty buddy dog called Joe. And they thought they'd go out and find some of these old turkeys. And they headed out across these ridges. But he just looked so vast. Where am I going to start? Where am I going to go? All I can do is just go to them old hardwoods. Now, first thing you got to understand about these old Appalachian mountains, game was scarce. Because the people come in here, they lived off the game way back. But during the Depression, it was really bad. Nobody had nothing to buy nothing with. So they lived off the land, raised it themselves. But sometimes some people didn't have nothing to raise. They didn't have anything. So they lived off the game off the land. And the game got really scarce then. I can remember when I growed up in the late 50s, early 60s, game was still scarce from the Depression. People would hunt these animals to about extinction. They never did hunt them to extinction, but they got so wild and so remote that you would have to walk a half a day just to find a squirrel. You barely could see a bird land. It got really scarce. But a turkey, a deer, a bear, stuff like that, that was really rare. Most of these little old country boys never seen nothing like that till they got to be old men. But they're plentiful now. Well, anyway, back to the story. Well, him and old Joe walked way back for hours back in these ridges, through these farms, through these hollers, back to the edge of the mountain, see if they could find it. Well, he's back in these old mountains, and he hunted hard, really hard. Didn't even see nothing. But he was hoping to get a shot at one so he could take it home to his mom. Him and Joe spent a lot of time here searching these woods. He was happy just to see a squirrel. But he didn't even see a squirrel. Nothing to be had. Just some old crows in the distance. We come out of them woods heading down a holler to another ridge. down around the edge of an old cornfield and thicket, and he seen a grouse. He did know what that is, but they was rare too. So old Joe got him up. He got a shot at him, and he got him. He was proud of himself. He's lucky to seen anything that day. Well, he had 2 or 3 hour walk back to the house. Well, and when he got home, he run in the house. He put that grouse on a fence post there, set his gun down on the porch, head in the house hollering at Mom. He got a grouse. He knowed it wasn't no turkey though. She was busy in the house doing her chores. And all of a sudden, he heard Joe out there barking like crazy. Him and his mom went out there, and there was a hawk on the fence post eating that grouse. Well, he run down there to it, and that grouse was about gone, and that hawk just flew off with it. There it was. He'd walked a half a day in there and out hunting for that one grouse, and he was gone. Well, his heart was broken. He felt like he's a failure. There's nothing he could do. That hawk was hungry too, and he knowed it. Well, pretty soon, your dad come home, and it was a big surprise he'd come out of the logwoods that early. It was Thanksgiving coming. But he made Mom awful happy, and it really surprised my dad, because he'd brought a turkey home. He stopped and got one. They were selling one on the side of the road, so they made Mom real happy. She got to work on the stove. Had some good old fried taters, soup beans, cornbread, some canned green beans, and that turkey. That was a real Thanksgiving. But my dad always tell me these little old stories. He'd always say, if I didn't have no bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But that's just the way it was back in the old days. People lived hard. So I want to thank everybody for watching. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. There's so much to be thankful for. Thank the Lord for just breathing. And what clothes you got on your back, it's just so much to be thankful for. So I want to thank y'all for watching, people. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. God bless. And I'll see you next time.